I was kind of going through the craziest sort of love story as I was dying as well. And I was kind of falling in love, but also all my guards were coming up. But they were finally allowed to be here. And I think the beautiful thing that was happening was that usually in relationships, let's say your defense mechanisms kind of come up, their defense mechanisms kind of come up too, and then you kind of distance from each other. But this time it felt like when I would have that, not all the time, but usually this person would soften and give me space. Allow this to freak out. Allow this to be like, no, I can't. And and I think something in there made this feel like I could trust the person. Like, oh, okay, maybe I could let them in. And it did something here. It kind of broke my heart that he wasn't the typical guy that I think would have been a good partner. But in every other way, he is beautiful. Like super supportive, very gentle, the kindest person I've probably met. And so there was a dissonance here. Like in conventional terms, it's like a no, but here like it's just it wants to open up. It can feel the safety that's here. And he's just kind of an analogy for life itself. Life itself actually completely allowing you to be as you are. Guarded or not, it doesn't care. It doesn't judge. You can be guarded. It's okay. It's unconditional. So I would say that that kind of partnership where I could sense that there was an honesty and genuineness there. It's not that he didn't have his own stuff and neediness, and I knew that he kind of wanted to be with me, but he wasn't manipulative. He was very like, whatever is going on there, just say it. This is an open space. Everything is allowed. So just say it and we could deal with it? That was very rare for me. That was like unheard of. That switched something internally where it was like, even though I was so scared, it felt safe to finally just say what the mind was saying or say how I was feeling, how insecure, how scared, to even say I didn't know. I don't know, but this feels wrong. Something feels bad. I don't know what it is. And there was just space for that. And I think that was super helpful in purging a lot of suppressed energy, a lot of things that I didn't even know was there necessarily. Because I never felt safe in this world. I never felt like someone could really be there for me no matter what. And so I think that was the biggest thing that was happening internally. And then it really felt like I was able to, someone was giving me a safe space for me to explore what I needed to explore. So if I needed to express and have fun and just, play around, that was kind of allowed. Even though I was doubting it, like, should I be doing this? Is this bad that this desire or want is here? And he would just always be like, just, it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't matter. And somehow in that, I think in its own time, it naturally kind of softened. It naturally kind of played itself out to an extent where I was like, either that's not that necessary anymore, or that's not the answer. Like, that won't give me happiness, or nothing can be a permanent thing and a lasting thing. But what I also can say is that it's not that we ended up together, because we didn't. I actually, it was a relief here to fully say to myself finally that I want something different, and therefore we're probably better as friends. To admit that was kind of good for this. So then we just continued to stay friends. But then ironically, I think it's because we met physically that this maybe unconscious hope that it still could amount to something, that extra little bit kind of shattered when we met. And then there was no overlay to what this was. There was no idea of what it could be. And what it was unknown. It was empty. It was beautiful. It was unknowable. You know, you can't put a title or a name to it. You know, it wasn't even friendship. I don't know what it was, but it's gorgeous. And it's okay that it's like that. We don't need to be together. We don't need to label each other or pin each other down. I can't say that it was about awakening necessarily. It was really about allowing the parts that were never able to be seen, even by this. Even I was surprised, you know, like, oh, I didn't know that I needed to be heard. Because it feels good. It feels strange. It feels not familiar, but good. And then I guess you can say it was sort of about the dissolving of self, because we were both already very, like, he was very empty. He had a lot of trauma, but he was the type to have a lot of experiences. And I was a bit more stable. I was like, I never had experiences really. I was very slowly emptying out, but there was still the person there, kind of. And so I don't know, we just balanced each other out quite well, I guess. It's just the idea that is not necessary, because it's not that the body doesn't need support. I think it's important to recognize when it does need support, because it is healthy to lean on someone when you feel like it's needed. But it's not that you need to possess them. It's not that they need to possess you. It's not that you need to label and constrict and confine them. It can just be what it is. So that's what I've seen with my friend. We tried to be together, but really we were trying to make each other the way we wanted each other to be, and it didn't feel good. And then what we realized was like, oh, this is actually beautiful as it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. It feels healthy. It feels nourishing. It feels supportive. So why would I throw that away just because I can't make it my idea of what I want it to be. And that was a death that happened. That was a dream that was grieved. But I landed fully here because I grieved that dream. It was just more what it was in its purity. And it's just the gratitude that naturally comes from that is like, oh, wow, I couldn't see this before. I couldn't because like I wanted it to be a certain way and it wasn't that way. So I couldn't really see it for what it was.